Everybody, throw your hands up. Yeah, if you want an ambulance sky. Ooh. We're here to talk about this couple right here. We got to get into these couples before we can get into this new season. And this season is definitely going to be hot and spicy. So let's begin with this review. Now, I'm only going to do this review on the couples that I feel are interesting, because there are a few couples that I'm just not feeling, to be honest. I mean, they have good storylines, but they're just not what I want to review. I do wish the best for them in their recoveries and their relationships with their partners, as they both want to do well in their futures together without incorporating drugs and all that other kind of good stuff. But I'm here about the love after lockup, the love between multiple partners. How do you do it? What is going on with these ladies? What's going on with these ladies? So let's start with Ashley. Ashley is in Cincinnati, Ohio, and she's dating Julius. Julius is currently incarcerated and has been incarcerated since he was 18 years old. So he has been spending the most of his young adult years behind bars. So check the mentality there. Stop dancing so that way she can spend more time with her children. Now, I think I saw two running around in the camera, so I believe she has two kids. So while we're there getting her story, or while we're being introduced to Ashley and we kind of got that backdrop of her, Julius calls. Now, Julius calls and he, they're having a cute little conversation, and they are, talking about him coming home soon in preparation for him getting released. And in her mind, she's under the impression that this is going to be a day where they will be together and they will enjoy each other in love and in bliss and spend time together, considering they have been in this distant relationship. But Julius has other plans. Julian tells her, pump your brakes, shawty, pump your brakes. My mama coming to get me. And so don't worry about it. Don't worry about coming to get me. Don't worry about seeing me. Don't worry about none of that. I'll check for you later on that night, or later on at night. Now, of course, this is a shock to her, because at night, that's like a red flag to her at night. So then she asked, well, am I going to meet your mom? Do you want me to meet your mom? Am I going to have the opportunity to do that? Once again, pump your brakes, shawty. Pump your brakes. We're going to slow walk this thing. And when the time comes, you'll be able to meet my mom, and we'll see how that all works out. But as of right now, we're just going to take this one day at a time. So she really, she's moving on past that because she's looking towards a future. Julius has promised her, or at least given her the dream, that he is looking forward to being a wonderful stepdad to her children. She's also just wanting to have that relationship with him. And she's looking forward to all that. However, they've only been meeting each other, well, they've only known each other, or they've only been dating for about a year. And within that year, she has found out that he was seeing other women. Probably after 3 or 4 months into their relationship, she found out that he was seeing other women, plural. And so she brought this up to his attention, and she was like, well, what's up with all of this? Because some girl reached out to her about why was her man's name tattooed on her and this, that, and the other. So, of course, she's like, well, who is this female hitting me up on Facebook asking me why I got your name, because you my man, on my body? So he commenced to tell her, well, I see women or talk to other women from time to time on this here social media to make extra money. So what I want you to do, don't worry about all of that, shorty. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. That's a split.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Just a split.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
He says, look, don't worry about all that.
That's split.
I want you to stop posting anything that got anything to do with me on social media, because you could be messing my hustle up. You messing up my money, you messing with my money. So just stop posting anything about me, anything about us on social media until I get home. All right? All right. So she's okay with that. She seems to accept his excuse as to why he doesn't want her to post, which should be a red flag to all women in 2025. I'm going to take it back to anytime social media came out, whenever that was, 2022, when it became hot, 2020, whatever. Your whole thing was to be posting your man. And if your man didn't post you, then there was a problem. Somebody's hiding something. And that still stands. Even though we try to be calm, cool, and collective and try to keep our business private, we still do look for that reassurance and for someone to claim that relationship. And it should be no problem if my husband posts me on social media, or if I post my husband on social media, or if you're in a relationship with this person for, I don't care how long, if you guys are in a committed relationship, who cares if we're posting about each other on Facebook? Yeah, we want to keep everything private. That's cute and everything, and you can keep it to a minimum, but to say just don't post anything about us whatsoever because you're going to mess up, first of all, why is he, I understand it's a game behind bars, and I guess if he just wants to, be honest with her and let that be his excuse, he can do that, because clearly she's not sending him enough money. She has no money, because he wouldn't be seeking money from other women if she was sending him money. So there's that with that. We're moving on with that. The point is, beyond that, is that not only did she find out that he was seeing other women shortly after them dating or talking, she hasn't met this man at all, not once. She hasn't been to a visit. Probably, I don't know if they have video calls, but she hasn't seen him in person. And whoever, if you are in a relationship with anyone behind bars, unless you live miles apart where you have to fly, and in some cases, from my own experience and knowing women who are in love with their man in prison, they will make that travel at least once a year, whether that's for their loved one, a family member, their man, or whomever. They're going to catch a flight, catch a train, catch a ride, whatever it is, to go see that man. And if that man says, oh no, don't come see me, that is a major red flag. But I digress. Point is, she hasn't seen this man whatsoever. She just been talking to him over the phone, getting an earful of his sweet nothings, and she's hanging on to that by a string. So as she's preparing to get ready for Julius's release, she's out with some of her friends at some party city type place, And she's giving them the rundown about, ooh, Julius is about to come home. I am so excited. It is going to be everything. We're going to be doing the nasty all day and all night, tonight and tomorrow. And ain't nobody, once I get a hold of him, ain't nobody going to be able to get a hold of him, because it is just going to be love and bliss and fairy tale and bells and whistles and sprinkles and glitter and everything love. Like, she is head over heels looking for handcuffs and all types of stuff, like a kid in a candy store just talking about my man. Meanwhile, her friends are looking at her like she has lost every piece of sense that she got in her mind, because of the simple fact, as we've been talking, she hasn't met this man at all. You don't even know him. Then on top of that, he's already had major red flags throughout your relationship, beginning with the tattoo. Now, at some point in their relationship, they've only been dating for a year, she felt like they were strong enough to the point where she wanted to get his name tattooed across her chest. And she did it on her birthday. She got his name tattooed on her birthday, and he was supposed to do the same. I guess, to show some love and I'm here with you. We together. We in this together. But he reneged and he ain't do it. So she got a tattoo. He didn't. So friends are just telling her, listen, you out here looking stupid. Don't be dumb. Pay attention to the red flags, because this dude sounds like he's playing you. Nothing adds up. Nothing makes sense. She tells her friends he's supposed to be getting out, but she don't even know when he's getting out. She don't know what time he's getting out. She don't know what day he's getting out. I'm guessing so she's supposed to know at least what day it is, but she probably doesn't know if he's getting out at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4:45, 2:15 p.m. She don't know nothing. So she's just basically waiting. And then in the midst of all of this, she's harboring all of these insecurities, because she's wondering, because now she know,
I can't just not be with him.
and you've seen from what I've shown you, if I haven't put it in there, I'm going to put it in there now. Right here. What she looked like before when she was a dancer. Now, I'm sure she was sending him pictures when she was at her best. We all send pictures when we're at our best. We got the filters on, and if we don't need no filter, great. Where were we? Alexis. So Alexis has been dating Julius on and off for about 3 years. And within those 3 years, she's had the opportunity to see him several times. Thus, the pictures that we have been shown on the show are her receipts for the viewers that their relationship is very real. She has been courting Julius for some time now. She met him and he was there for her in her darkest hours, when she was feeling so low about herself, as far as her complexion, her size, just having all these insecurities. Julius was there for her to lift her up and, make her feel good about herself. And that's where she just fell in love with him. So she's on her way to pick up her man, and she is just in so much awe and can't wait to begin this wonderful relationship with him, move in with him. She's never moved in with anyone before, but this is going to be her first time, which is red flag. You never lived with anyone before, but you're going to let him be your first man that you live with. And nonetheless, she's on her way to the prison to pick up Julius. So as she gets to the prison, she's prepping herself, trying to make herself look beautiful for when she sees him, and she's can't wait to run in his arms like a fairy tale. And I want to run to you. Ooh. That's what she has in her mind, right? But that's not how it ends up, because after she's waiting for 10, 15, 20 minutes, all of a sudden we see a man by the name of Tyler show up. Now, Tyler is actually Julius's brother-in-law. It's his older sister's baby daddy, from what we were told on the show. And of course, you know, she's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Clearly she knew him because she knew his name when he walked up on her, but she was surprised that he was there because unbeknownst to her, she never knew anything about him being there for his release. She thought it was just going to be a Alexis and Julius thing, just like Ashley thought it was going to be a Julius and Ashley thing, but that is not how it's going down. Clearly, from the looks of it, Alexis was the only person who didn't know about this situation, because he's like, surprise. Like, you're the only one who didn't know. So she's sitting there and she's explaining the fact that, you know, it was kind of disturbing to her, and she didn't like the fact that he didn't mention it to her, and it seems a little sneaky that you wouldn't mention that your brother-in-law is coming. So what's the deal with that? But nonetheless, she went ahead and moved on with it. She's still excited and waiting for him to come up. But like 10 minutes later, we see somebody else come up. And I think it was now Tyler said in the background, we kind of slightly heard him say, oh, that's my brother. But in the comments or whatever, the commentary of the show, it basically said that was just Julius's friend. So he ends up showing up. Now, clearly they know something that Alexis doesn't. They know that when he's getting out, and they know to be there to show up and show out. So they're all sitting there waiting. She didn't say nothing about him being there, but, you know, I'm pretty sure that was weighing in on her mind. Excuse me. But, you know, they're sitting there looking in the glass doors like, is that him? Is that him? Is that him? So he ends up coming out looking about 25 pounds. I can't do it. I can't do it. But anyway, he comes out and they have their little moment, their little commentary together, and she's just giving him so much props about him being such a great man and how she looks forward to him to being a good man and all these great attributes that he has as a real man. And he's just sitting there looking like, bull crapping. He looked like it was so many red flags for me. So many red flags for me. But anywho, you know, she's in love. She got her arm wrapped around his whole little body, like one little arm wrapped around his little 2-inch waist. And girl, you like it. I love it. He's not a bad looking guy, but he just needs some more meat. He needs more meat. More meat. But anywho, moving on past that. So she does mention to him, she brings it up like, oh, you didn't tell me that Tyler was coming. What's up with that? And he kind of just brushes her off like, oh, well, yeah, I didn't know. They told me at the last minute. Real fugazi, like you knew, but you just blew her off. Like, okay, well, don't even worry about that. Like, it's whatever. Let's just go ahead and move on. So she's annoyed, and you know, she's just not feeling it. So they're like, oh, he's like, you want to go ahead and get something to eat? Want to go get some breakfast? I'm assuming they're about to go to Waffle House, IHOP, somewhere along them lines and get something to eat, because it seems like it's about to be a group event. This isn't going to be a me and you romantic, I just got out and let's just spend time together type of thing. This is going to be me, you, and my homies. You, me, James, and Tyrone. It's going to be all of that. So she's annoyed because he was like, well, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and ride. Now his homeboys is in the background talking about, why don't you ride with us? Why don't you ride with us? He automatically tells Alexis, I'm gonna just ride with my homeboys. And she's like, for what? What have they done for you? Like, why are you riding with them? And here's the homeboys in the background giving their commentary, talking about something, you about to have him all day. He just riding to the restaurant. You go after that, you gonna ride with him and all that other kind of jazz or whatever. And she commits to go ahead and giving him his clothes, a little change of clothes, whatever he's gonna wear. She pulls out this little phone that she got for him, talking about, and I got the little SIM card reset for you and everything. So he's like, yeah. Now I'm back in the game, baby. I'm back in the game, baby. So he got his freedom, his independence. He's got access to the world now. So he's happy about his phone. He jumps in the car with his homeboys, and they already talking reckless, talking about za and all that other kind of crap. And meanwhile, she in her car looking hot as I don't know what, like, physically and figuratively, she's looking hot. Like, it must be like summertime or something like that when they was filming. And then on top of that, she's annoyed because she drove all the way wherever she was coming from to see him, assuming that he was going to be riding with her and spending the day with her. But he decided to invite his friends and not tell her and jump in the car with them, hang out with them. Not before. We're not going to miss that not before they had like their own little 3D segment or whatever with just 3 friends talking about, oh, I knew my homie Julius for I don't know how long, and I'm happy that he's out, and he been locked up ever since he was 18. He missed out on so much in life, and he missed out on all the girls, the clubs, he just missed out on so much. And here comes Lanky. Yeah, we about to live it up now. We about to live it up now. They're about to live it up. So automatically he does not have an end set in his mind that he's going to be doing anything positive, anything that's going to be productive, anything that's going to be pushing him forward, anything that's going to be anything less than trying to relive his childhood that he missed by being incarcerated since he was 18. Which gives us the idea that, when he gets his phone, and then on top of that, we're not going to exclude the fact that when he was in his confessional, that he mentioned that he don't like sneaking around. But basically, somebody got to do it. He gets a thrill out of, the sneaking around and all that kind of stuff like that. And the first person that he's going to call on the phone that Alexis got for you in Reset was Ashley. So only thing I gotta say in this segment for her is that this is gonna be fun to see unravel. Well, I'm not gonna say fun because it's not fun to see anybody's life go in a whirlwind, but it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out and how these women find out about each other, because it seems like they're in the same city. They're both from Cincinnati, Ohio. One has been with him for a year. One has been with him for 3 years. The other ain't seen him but near time in her life. The other has seen him a bunch of times and has sent what she says, $1,200 to $1,500. So she's feeling some kind of way because he's not showing no loyalty to her because she's been doing this and that for her, but they haven't done anything for him. Yet you don't know what they done. You don't know if they've been sending money to him. You don't know if other women been sending money to him. You really don't know anything, my dear. You're just along for the ride. Now, I'm going to give it to her that she's probably one of his number ones because she was coming up and visit. She was checking for him and he was accepting her visits. But who knows? We might mess around and find some other females that was also seeing him and visit. So it's just going to be interesting because it doesn't seem like Julius is on the path to redemption in any way whatsoever. It looks like he's on the path to wanting to cover some ground that he missed, in a sense. Like, I'm trying to go back and relive the life that I missed. So if it means juggling women, even though it's not fair, but somebody's got to do it. I don't like doing it, but somebody's got to do it, and I get a thrill out of it. That's immature boy thinking, and that's still where his mind is, honestly. And he's already drinking. He got his on TV, mind you. This is recorded for everyone to see. So I posted something, a short, and I was like, do you think that Julius is going to go back? Because he's acting real wild. Like, he's wilding right now. Like, you don't really care. It appeared that you were still on the correctional institution's property. Your homeboy passes you a little white styrofoam cup of Patron, and you are drinking that on the property. Now, I'm sure that you're not fully released off all paperwork, because you got to go to a halfway house. And you've already mentioned in the prior episode that your intentions are to be saying, I live with my mother, or I'm going to be living in the halfway house, but I'm really going to be staying with Alexis. And we not going to forget that who was the girl that was like, oh, why you got my man's name tattooed on your chest? Is she somewhere hidden in the bushes? We don't know that, but this is going to be really interesting. I think this is going to be one of the show's hot couples for the season. The Throuple. Even though I believe we have 2 more. I know we have Diamantric. Child, I don't even know how to say his name, but we'll figure it out when I do their little individual video. And I'm not sure if the girl Brooklyn and Brianna, or Brian and Brooklyn, I'm not sure if that's going to be a throuple or not, but we'll see. But this whole season is going to be interesting with the new people, especially with these 2. I'm definitely going to continue to have these little sidebars on recaps for them. So keep an eye out for them. And tune in, because the next episode comes out on April the 4th. So, I will be giving you a recap for the full show. And then from there, we might spin off and do some hot topics or some individuals on, what was actually going on in each, from the hot couples, from the couples that were actually interesting, like Michael and Jacob or Josh. I get it. I feel for you, but you're not that interesting. Samantha and oh boy, whoever in Richmond, they cute, they cool, they're funny or whatever, but just not that interesting. So we shall see. And I shall see you next time. Thanks for coming through, checking out my video, and I'm out. I'm just saying.